Pricing. Fight. So, first thing I want to say about pricing is be okay with turning down jobs. If a job is not paying enough, feel free to turn it down. That is not a problem.
Should you tell them why?
Should I tell them why? What? Why it's okay to turn down shit
why
pay?
are you turning it down?
Oh, what? Why am I turning it down?
No, should we tell the people of
Oh, should yes, yeah. Just say,
this is a crap fee?
just say no. That's shit. I'm not doing 4 45-minute fire shows for £150. Go suck a dick. Literally, you could. If you are not happy with a fee, you're fine to say you're not happy with a fee. Like, you might get a bit of backlash and they'll be like, well, I can get someone better, cheaper. Yes, that could happen. There's going to be a lot of sudden realizations of this is actually a market and we don't have that sort of truth of you say your price and you are instantly worth your price. Chances are you are not. Because chances are I can go to the Ukraine and hire 20 people better than you for the price of one performer. That is a fact of the market you're living in. And a lot of Eastern European performers in general are coming to the UK now and are just flying over. Because it's as cheap just to fly them over, pay 50 quid for their fee for a teeter board act, and then fly them back. And that literally is affecting your market right now, and that is just a horrible thing for your lives. Yay! So, first rule of mine, by the way, I'm giving you these rules, let's argue about them after. I'll be going to the pub, you can argue about me with them afterwards. Consistency within your pricing is your number one keystone. If, say, I inquire to you and I say, how much for a 10-minute fire show? And you say, $275. Now, a cabaret comes and asks you, using cabaret as an example, and comes and asks you, how much for a fire show?
$275.
The consistency right there. You can't change your price, you can't change your mind depending on who's contacting you. Say Gemma contacts you, and Gemma gets a cheaper quote than I do. We know each other, we talk about this sort of stuff. If I go, wait, that guy charged me double, that's going to piss people off. So you have to be aware of a lot of people are talking. I'm not saying, sorry, cabaret was a bad example because it's fine to price differently in different markets. But as we said, target yourself directly to a market is better. You know, target yourself as I am a cabaret performer, I am a corporate and wedding performer. Target yourself to a market and then your consistent prices don't really matter. So, with consistency, what sort of variables do you think should actually affect your price?
Demand.
Demand, yes.
Quality of show.
Quality of show.
Amount of sets and that work.
Amount of sets. Okay? I'm going to drop a huge bombshell on you. Just charge the same rate. Just charge the same rate. I'm saying this as a take home. I'm saying generally my day rate is about 400 quid. I'm happy with earning 400 quid in a day, regardless of how much I actually do. I don't care if it's one show, I don't care if I'm on stage for 5 minutes. I don't do double sets, I don't work 2 jobs a day, I can't be arsed with that. But all I'm saying is, it doesn't matter if I'm there for 5 minutes doing one show. It doesn't matter if I'm there for 4 sets of 40 minutes. In my opinion, you've bought my day. So, if you can, just go with the attitude of you choose a price that you are happy to sell your day at, regardless of what it is you're doing. And then they can have anything they want from you. If they want a set of pixels, they want a set of fire, they want a set of acrobatics, they want a set of juggling, they can have everything you can offer as a performer. And as a multi-skilled performer, that makes your pricing super, super simple then. I know plenty of performers where they're just like, I'm 350, get me jobs. And that's super easy to sell because you're just like, I know they're 350 regardless of what they end up on stage doing. So that's really easy to sell as an agent and as a booker. We can argue about that in the pub later. Yeah. So supply and demand is a key thing that does affect your price. Does everyone know why fire performers get paid fuck all compared to what they used to do 10 years ago?
So many.
Because there's 50 million of you now. So that's the issue, is there's 50 million fire performers now. There's, say, the Luna, the lollipop, the first lollipop. She's been pretty good at keeping her price quite high. But the price is beginning to drop. You can notice it because the people are going out doing lollipop acts and they're charging. I hired a lollipop act for £175 a couple of months ago. It was disgusting how cheap I got that. And the client did not care of quality. A lot of end clients do not care of quality. And I even warned the client saying, she's probably going to be really shit. That client did not care whatsoever. So price was a huge varying factor in that. Now, supply and demand, if you have a super unique act, say you're the literally only person in this country performing that act, you are the only supply. You can charge pretty much whatever you want. Doesn't mean it will sell, but you can charge a higher price point because you are the only supply point. So, can anyone think of some other ones, some other genres that are beginning to get flooded and the price drops? Greatest Showman. Greatest Showman will never be too full. Okay, so value pricing. Let me remember. Value pricing is the method of value pricing based on the perceived value of an act. Now, does everyone understand what I mean by perceived value? We did have a chat about it like yesterday. So you're worrying me now with all these blank faces. I don't remember 10 minutes ago, never mind. So perceived value is this idea that just because something looks like it should cost more means it does cost more. An aerialist, for example. We'll have the whole aerialist versus juggler conversation again. That an aerialist is perceived as being more dangerous, therefore it should cost more. That's perceived value. Value pricing is exactly utilising that idea. LED performance and fire performance, they're essentially the two identical skills. However, fire performance is generally sold at a higher price because it is viewed as more dangerous. Yes, in a bracket it essentially is, but LED performance, you may have to invest 30 grand into an LED show to have a decent LED show. So you can see a huge value price point there, where just because you invest in something doesn't mean you're actually going to be able to charge more for it. Whereas with fire performing, it's still always going to end up being slightly more expensive than typical LED performing. Huge generalization. If you compare it to feeding the fish to my fire show will be much cheaper than feeding the fish. Or if you charge, well, in fact, no, because Calvos and, yeah, there is some that are the opposite way around. But in general, you've got to look at your perceived value for that. So, no arguments yet? No?
I think the actual one that I see is popped into people's heads as a prop manipulator, a juggler. And there's some things you see where, through doing something in his promo, he's increased his perceived value. Is it literally just costume and like the side of the trick? No,
sorry, perceived value doesn't work in that aspect. You can't sort of change someone's perception. It is a general concept of things. Yeah. So it's, say like the market makes assumptions on how much things should cost, and that actually affects the price. It's some weird way that just because you believe in something costing that much can actually make something cost that much. Go on.
The value pricing and consistency kind of conflict each other. Because, like, for my aerial act, it's perceived as more expensive.
Yeah.
I set my day rate like you did at 400, and that was what I went out for every gig. Some gigs I'm doing
You're going to sell your aerial act a whole lot then, aren't you?
aerial, and then some gigs I'm doing stills. But the perceived value is so different.
Why aren't you selling both on the same event?
Yeah, but
That's
what you mean.
that's
so you
what-
have a package for the day.
So this is this is what I'm getting down to, is offering something like Chris was speaking about. Your 3-act package is my standard offer. I don't really go and do one show of things. I generally always end up doing a 3-act package. You know, your meet and greet, your walkabout, and then your show. And that 3-act package, you can sort of go for the perceived value of the top one. And I'll talk about it a little bit later, upsells and things. So we'll get into how you can utilize that the best.